card. If I came in legally, I can get my green card here, no problem, even though now I'm undocumented. But if I just cross the border from Canada or Mexico, even marrying a citizen, I cannot get my green card here. Even having a child who was born here and a citizen, petitioning for me, I cannot get my green card here. So say I'm going into the subway and I don't have my wallet, and so I just come in through the gate. I didn't pay my fare, for instance, and I get a ticket for that. Simple, just not paying your fare in the subway because it's a theft offense. It's considered a crime involving moral. I'm entitled to certain rights. I'm entitled to due process. They have to put me through.
Neglected or abandoned. This child could also be in foster care as part of this family court case. Their parental rights, the rights of their natural parents were terminated, and you must not have certain criminal convictions that would prevent you from having access to this type of status. And I'll come back later.
Well, yeah, so they'll be calling you names, threatening you, saying all these nasty things to you. So actually what the commission has is that we fight against all type of discrimination. We fight against all type of bias related.
সিটির কাছ থেকে কি কি সার্ভিস ফ্রিতে পাওয়া যায় রিগার্ডলেস অফ ইমিগ্রেশন স্ট্যাটাস আমি সে নিয়ে আপনাদের সাথে একটু কথা বলবো সো এখানে No? Yes? So I'll talk a little bit more about IDNYC. IDNYC is a free municipal ID program from the city of New York. All New York City, regardless of immigration status, can get this card as long as they are over the age of 14. Our lasts for 5 years, it's free, and there are a lot of benefits that come with this.
We provide, at Legal Hands, we provide you with legal information, assistance, referrals, and resources for any legal issues that you may have. It could be immigration, it could be discrimination case, it could be housing, eviction case, family law case, it could be education case.
Stop you at any time. You have rights, even if you're not a U.S. citizen, you still have rights. So the police stop you. They can ask you, basically at the basic level, they can ask you for identification, not specifically that you have to pull out your driver's license, but they can ask you who you are, and they can ask you about your destination, so where you're going. Okay, so, you know, if I were to walk out.
They would typically notify the federal authorities that this person is being held, or if immigration knew that I was there in the jail, they would say, I know you're about to release him. Hold him for an extra 2 days. Give us 48 hours to come and take him into custody, into immigration custody. It was called an ICE detainer, for Immigration Customs Enforcement. An ICE detainer in New York City at some point said, we're not gonna honor those requests anymore. It's not our job to have our New York City residents deported. And so if immigration wants to find you, it's up to them to go find you. We're not gonna hold them. So that was part of New York saying we're not going to help in deportations, and it's part of what makes New York a sanctuary city. So both not sharing information, not holding people for immigration. So New York has been adamant about that. They stopped honoring detainers in a complete way in 2014. They pushed immigration out of the Rikers Island.
What does sanctuary city actually mean? Because we are declared as a sanctuary city. And what does NYPD stating that they're not going to inquire about someone's immigration actually mean when they do get arrested?
So a couple questions about what does it mean to be a sanctuary city? What is New York City and New York State doing in terms of protecting non-citizen residents? And what does it mean for the New York Police Department status? That's not actually something generous that the police is doing. It's actually a result of Mayor Bloomberg having passed or signed 2 executive orders, Executive Order 35 and 41, saying that it was the city agencies cannot ask about immigration status unless it's something that's necessary for the services that you're asking for. So what does that mean? If I'm going to the welfare agency to apply for food stamps for my child, the welfare caseworker can ask me about my status because it's important to see, do I deserve to be on that household budget or not? It's something that's relevant to what that city agency is doing for me. If I call the police because I was just shot, I would call the police because I'm suffering domestic violence by my partner, my immigration status is totally irrelevant. There should never be a time that my immigration status matters to the police. And so the police are reiterating that they're not going to ask because they don't need to ask. and because they're actually prohibited from asking. And it comes from this notion that local law enforcement, local governments, whether it's New York City or New York State on the state